Jake's POV. My second day in the hospital was slow, mostly waiting and having my blood drawn. They ordered an MRI, and that was so fun. If you've never had one and want to know what it's like, go find a drainage pipe, just large enough that you can only fit into it if you're a child or a small dog, then try desperately not to have a panic attack while they shove you in anyway. I was having flashbacks of that horrible cave the whole time while teetering on the edge of freaking out and fainting. And if you want to make your experience as accurate as possible, go find a howler monkey and have him scream in your ear while you're in that drainage pipe. That should be pretty close to what it's actually like. I was in the hospital for quite a while, about a week and a half, and in that time I became so familiar with the insides of those scanning machines that I probably could have built one of them myself. MRIs, PET scans, even x-rays and sleep studies. At one point they attached a bunch of electrodes and leads to my head and told me to say the alphabet backwards. "Hello, Mr. Vandal," the neurologist said as he walked into the room I was in. Mum was gone right now. She needed to run some errands, so it was just me and him at the moment. "Hey," I said. "I got the results of your test back last night." He took a seat in a small rolling chair near my bed. "Good news or bad?" I asked. "Both. The good news is we didn't find anything suspicious from the MRI or the EEG, so it probably wasn't a seizure." "And the bad news?" I asked. "The bad news is we still don't know what caused your hallucinations and fainting. At this point we are forced to conclude that your symptoms aren't biological in nature, but are probably psychological." He pulled out his pen and picked up a clipboard from a nearby table. "You mentioned you were seeing a therapist, correct?" "Yeah, Dr. Maxwell. She has been my therapist for a while now." "Okay. In addition to Dr. Maxwell, I am going to recommend you to a psychiatrist. His name is Dr. William Bartholomew, and he specializes in this type of thing. I'll give him your number, and his office can set you up with an appointment." With that final meeting, I was released from the hospital. I filled Mum and later Suma in on what the neurologist said. A day later, Suma summoned me so that we could talk about my options. "I'm sorry, what exactly does a psychiatrist do?" Suma asked from her metal perch. We were in her new room, the one shared by the other recruits, but they were all out at the moment. I was sitting on a chair made of molded rock that Suma taught me how to make. "They are like healers, but for the mind," I said. "And how exactly is that different from what Dr. Maxwell does?" she asked. "Dr. Maxwell is a therapist. They deal more with trauma and non-medical issues. Psychiatrists deal with medicines, injuries, and diseases that affect the mind," I told her. "But it doesn't matter. I don't think I will be making an appointment with him." "Why not? Are you not worried about having more hallucinations?" "I am, but I don't think he'll be able to help me. We already know what caused them. All I wanted to know was whether or not that flaming figure did any actual physical damage. Since the doctor didn't see anything on any of the scans, I think that means whatever is happening is magical, not physical." "I see," Suma said. "You do have a point. I may have a suggestion then." "Okay." "We should perform a memory delve on both of us." "Why?" "You said that your hallucinations felt as if they were memories, did you not? If they really are, then a delve will help us to understand them." "Okay. But why do you need one?" I wondered. I have also been experiencing strange dreams, not too dissimilar from what you described your visions to be like," Suma confessed. "What? When?" I shouted. "I believe it was around the same time you experienced your first vision." Suma's head was hanging slightly lower. She was avoiding eye contact too. Even her normal glitter was slightly dulled. "Why didn't you say anything?" I asked, confused.
"I did not wish to worry you, and at first I thought it was simply a dream. Now, after hearing your descriptions of what you saw, I doubt it was just a coincidence."
"So, what did you see?"
Suma looked back to me as she explained. "I cannot remember clearly, but I know that there was a Nume called Ambos, and a Viking called Zachariah."
"The same people I saw, or thought I was anyway."
"It was the same for me. My dream took place from the perspective of Ambos."
"Why does that name sound so familiar?" I asked, trying to remember.
"It was the name of the hero mage," she said.
"Right! The one with the Viking familiar." I snapped my fingers and shook my hand, as I remembered. "So what, the flaming man somehow has their memories?" I asked.
"It is possible he took their memories somehow. Spells of that nature have existed for some time. It was thought that our ancestors, before the ravaging, would have had very advanced and diverse magics, even compared to today,"
Suma explained. "And do you think a memory delve will help us sort out what happened?"
"Yes, I do."
Okay, so let's do it, I said, ready to go.
We will need to find someone capable of performing the spell, Suma said. I do not have the ability to perform one on myself, or at all actually. I have no talent for my magic.
So, who do we know who can do it? I asked.
I might know one person. She was a court mage.
Who? I asked.